am back with another Living in the City of God video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. We are on to book 5 in this video. It begins with a preface, and the part that I really want to share with you is I felt a sneeze coming that went away. It begins with, we have now seen first that happiness, or the full possession of all that the heart can long for, is not a goddess, but a gift of God, and second, that the only God whom men should worship is the one who can make them happy. I mean, come on. Happiness, or the full possession of all that the heart can long for, fulfillment, is not a goddess, but a gift of God. And second, hi Stormy, that the only God whom men should worship is the one who can make them happy. Hi baby. I mean, how beautiful is that? Basically saying that you should not worship anything that does not bring you the things that we often find happiness in: other people, going somewhere, certain food or drink, vices, however that looks like for you. Those are not actual happiness. Actual long-lasting happiness comes from within. And what is within us? Our soul. What is our soul connected to? Our Creator. This is where we find everlasting fulfillment, everlasting happiness. Chapter 1 continues with, God is the Lord of both stars and men. But what kind of rule over men's actions is left to God if men are necessarily... I'll start that over. God is the Lord of both stars and men. But what kind of rule over men's actions is left to God if men are necessarily determined by the stars? Here, St. Augustine is talking about astrology and how people often look to things like the zodiac or the position of the planet and the stars in order to say, well, of course they're doing this, they're in Aries, or of course she said that, she's a Scorpio, or you know what I'm saying? There's lots of people that operate in this way, and St. Augustine has an argument for how that is not necessarily true. God is the Lord of both stars and men. What kind of rule over men's actions is left to God if men are necessarily determined by the stars? So how can astrology be the whole picture? It's not. There are some men who prefer to say that the stars rather signify than cause men's fate. That a particular position is like a form of words which causes us to know, but does not cause what happens to the future. So he's saying here that even though we think our future is determined by our astrological sign or the position of the planets when we were born, it's wrong to take that as the end-all be-all. It's wrong to take that as God's only trajectory for you. So that is the parts that I wanted to share in chapter 1. We're moving on to chapter 8, where St. Augustine says that God allows nothing to remain unordered and that he knows all things before they come to pass. He is the cause of all causes, although not of all choices. Sorry, I'm just looking at what my cat's doing. God is the cause of all causes, although not all choices, because we have free will, right? I know some people think we don't, but we do. And God is not forcing us to make choices, right? He, she, they can only gently guide us because we are sovereign beings. We are of human nature. St. Augustine quotes somebody called Annaeus Seneca, who said, "Lead where thou wilt, Father and Lord of the world, mine to obey, boldly, without delay. Should ever my will resist the right and good, I'll take in tears whatever ill may come. Fate leads or drags men willy-nilly on." I love that so much. Should ever my will resist the right and good, I'll take in tears whatever ill may come. God is constantly showing us what is right for us. It's usually our human minds that tells us to go a different way for whatever reason. You can see that as what some people call devil energy. And it's about keeping your mind on the one, keeping your mind on your Creator so that they can guide you to the right places. I'm just looking at my cat. Okay. So that is the part I wanted to share from chapter 8. We're moving on to, this is chapter 9. This is why I was watching her, because she's getting into things. Okay, chapter 9. This is towards the end here. They are the choices of God or of angels or of men or of certain animals, if indeed we may call choices the instinctive movements or choices are the instinctive movements of irrational animals by which they seek or avoid what is good or bad for their nature. Like I was just saying, we make choices, right? And the human mind, irrational and animalistic, primal, right? In order to completely be certain in what you're doing, you don't really do anything at all. In fact, you give it to the Creator to lead, to guide, in order for the right and good to come naturally. When you live on this path, you're never forcing. There is no struggle on the path of God. The only struggle that you find is of your human mind. From this we conclude that the only efficient causes of all things are voluntary causes, that is to say, causes of the same nature as the spirit or breath of life. Of course, the air or wind can be said to breathe, but, being a body, it is not the breath or spirit of life. The spirit of life which gives life to all, and is the creator of all matter, and of every created spirit, is God, a spirit indeed, but uncreated. In his will is the supreme power, which helps the creator of all matter and of the created. The spirit of life which gives life to all and is the creator of all matter and of every created spirit is God, a spirit indeed, but uncreated. In his will is the supreme power which helps the good choices of created spirits, judges the evil ones, and orders all of them, giving powers to some and not to others. So many messages in that. Let me tune into what needs to be said. God has the final say. Our human minds may try to manipulate that and feel like, well, whatever we think comes to pass. Whatever we do, whatever we do must be, we get so caught up in the fruit of our labor, right? At the end of the day, that fruit is God. Whatever we think we are obtaining by doing work, it is the essence of God, of spirit, life. At the very foundation of everything is the very truth. The very truth is that this body is temporary, and this body is just physical matter. What truly matters is the internal state in which our soul resides in. Our spiritual evolution, our conscious awareness, is the goal of this incarnation. In order to live in the city of God, in order to live in the kingdom of heaven, you must, I want to say, act in faith. You must walk with faith, and the actions come. The actions are guided, divinely led. You experience divine intervention with everything that is of not God's making and God's will. Chapter 9 nearly ends with, our conclusion is that our wills have power to do all that God wanted them to do and foresaw they could do. Their power, such as it is a real power. What they are to do, they themselves will most certainly do, because God foresaw both that they could do it and that they would do it, and his knowledge cannot be mistaken. I feel like if you're still watching, you get it. You fully get it. I don't need to explain anything. Although I will say that if you're feeling unsure about your life right now, understand that the clarity comes when you quiet your mind and allow God to give you a message, to speak through you. You don't need to force, you don't need to push on anything. You just need to act from a place of knowing, a place of faith, right? This is a faith-based world, whether or not the people around you want to admit it. Hi. It is. It just is. Moving on to chapter 10. Why are you licking my knee? Okay, chapter 10. Whatever a man has to suffer against his will is not to be attributed to the choices of man, or of angels, or of any created spirit, but to his choice who gives to wills whatever power they have. Excuse me, no, that's my pen. This speaks to our co-creative power. You are connected to your Creator still, whether you realize it or not. The power of free will is due to God's ability to make things happen, right? To materialize, to manifest, whatever you want to call it. This is why you're able to do things in the physical world, because you're still connected to the Creator, and because you're constantly co-creating. You have the ability, excuse the rocking, it's just my cat. You have the ability to realize things into this world because you are still connected to your highest self. The highest self, which knows what you want, which knows your desires and everything that you want. This is why things happen for you. The reason why we see other people, the reason why we see other people in the world, the not so nice people, not so kind, not so empathetic people, seemingly receive what they want, it's because they too are co-creative with their highest self. That might be painful for somebody to hear, but understand that God has the final say. God's will is greater than our human will. The conclusion is that we are by no means under compulsion to abandon free choice in favor of divine foreknowledge, nor need we deny God. The conclusion is that we are by no means under compulsion to abandon free choice in favor of divine foreknowledge, nor need we deny, God forbid, that God knows the future as a condition for holding free choice. We accept both. We profess both. Foreknowledge as a part of our faith, free choice as a condition of responsible living. It is hard to live right if one's faith in God is wrong. It's hard to live right if one's faith in God is wrong. The last part I want to share with you is the very reason why a man is undoubtedly responsible for his own sin when he sins is because he whose foreknowledge cannot be deceived foresaw not the man's fate or fortune or whatnot, but that the man himself would be responsible for his own sin. No man sins unless it is his choice to sin, and his choice not to sin. That too, God foresaw. Thank you for being here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. I love you. I also just want to quickly say that I'm so grateful for all of the love and support I've been receiving. I'm so grateful to see our family growing every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May God return all the blessings and love you show to me tenfold to you. I love you.